Welcome to day 2. So today we're going to talk about the hierarchy of needs, and this is stuff that kind of blew my mind, I'll be honest, because of how it builds and goes on top of each other and why people kind of do what they do. It was really fascinating. I'll let the expert talk about it, but man, it was very impactful to me.
We owe a great gift to Abraham Maslow, who in 1943 came out with this basic concept called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. He basically says that all of it that people have, there's 5 levels of needs that people have. The first level is psychological needs. That's the physiological needs for, I said psychological, but it's physiological. That's the need for air, food, hunger, thirst. And the second is safety, the absence of threat. Third is belonging. Fourth is ego, status. And fifth is self-actualization. Now, what he says with these is that once a lower level need is filled to a certain degree, that it no longer drives behavior, that people move on to the next unfulfilled need.
So what you're saying is, like, if somebody is really hungry, as soon as they get that need of hunger met, now they're not focused on hunger, they're focused on maybe safety, on where do I lay my head tonight, or where do I need to be in order to feel protected.
For example, it'd be tough around this organization if bombs are falling around this facility, or if people are bullies. That's a threatening environment. We can't have that. See, every child is going to come to this organization has unfulfilled needs. Now, I suspect that the kids who come here are well fed, and those basic physiological needs are not a problem. And most safety and security issues are not there. If there's bullying, that will become a driving factor, which will influence people. But the one thing that all of us need to watch for is to make sure that every child feels that they belong, that they're part of something. We've had sad experiences where kids, after a prolonged period of time, say a month or even more, says they didn't feel like they ever fit into their team. Well, we cannot let that happen. Every kid, every coach, every parent, and every other player needs to make sure that every player on that team is accepted as a full participating, full-fledged member of that team and is loved.
So with that being said, what are some of the things we can do in order to fulfill that need, so players can feel accepted? I mean, is this just building relationships? Is this feeling like they have a role? I mean, what is it exactly that fulfills that?
Well, the most thing it's letting the kid know you are welcome, you're part of this team, and repeating that message over and showing the kids that they're part of the team. It's not showing favoritism. It's making sure that every kid knows they're part of the team. And coaches particularly bear the responsibility of making sure that they see that every kid feels a part of it. And part of that may be just sitting down and saying, hey, how's things going? Coaches, parents, and players need to let people know if somebody's doesn't feel like they're fitting in, because that should be easily solved. Once the kids fit in, then they next want to feel like they're a contributing member of the team. That's part of the ego part. Now, we don't want to create little divas in this organization who are running around. What we want, though, people, is to satisfy that need, that ego need, by learning the skills and developing confidence in how they play the game, so that they feel like a contributing member in their team and they know they're contributing.
So what you're talking about is essentially identifying a role that they can play on the team and how they can add value to the team as a contributing member, so to speak.
And part of the coach's role and the parent's role is to help channel that child's talents to where they can succeed. That will be the most successful thing in helping them satisfy that ego status. You know, Maslow didn't talk a lot about self-actualization, but self-actualization, when you get down to it, you stop looking at yourself. It kind of happens when you feel, well, I've kind of arrived. And your focus becomes on wanting to help other people arrive. Now, what's interesting in this organization, you can take 16-year-olds here who have arrived in the eyes of the 12-year-olds. And so to the degree that we can have the girls who've achieved a certain amount of success come and love and help mentor their younger sisters, then that is helping satisfy their need for self-actualization, and it's also helping the development of the younger people.
So what you're saying is, as soon as they achieve to a certain point, it's their ability to serve and give back that makes them feel self-actualized.
Yep, when you're operating at this level, you can be self-actualized by helping people that are at a lower level learn what you learned and help them go to where you are.
So it's raising the entire level of the organization, essentially, making sure that our lowest functioning members are now become our highest functioning members.
Bottom line, part of our mission in this organization is to see that the unfulfilled needs of our players are met in healthy ways, and that the coaches and the players and the parents work together in making this a satisfying experience for our kids and getting their needs met.
So would you say that a great assignment for everybody at home would simply be, okay, you know what you want to achieve as a volleyball player, but secondly, what are some of the things you can do to be a better teammate, to involve everybody, to make sure your coach knows where you are feeling and where you stand, how to make your teammates feel loved and accepted. Another thing I think you can do at home is identify the type of role you would like to be able to play on the team that you're on. How can you add value? And then finally is, how can you give back to those who may not be as successful as you are? I think the greatest demonstration of love is to serve, and that's a great message. And so take these things to heart, do the homework, because if you do the homework, you'll get better.